What is the best technique to stop a prince from charging? Take away his credit card.
Oh my God. Oh. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Radio Royale.
I'm Sip.
And I'm Bangs.
We have 3 special guests with us today.
3 special guests from the esports scene.
Esports and events. So, guys, welcome. Introduce yourselves, tell us what you do, and tell us your favorite card.
So I'm Tim. I'm in the marketing team in San Francisco. I work on esports, including the Crown Championship Series. I'm loving the battle ram these days.
Ooh, nice.
So I'm Kim, also work on esports and also social events around Clash Royale. My current favorite card is the Graveyard.
Ooh, dirty.
I'm Steve. I work a little bit in brand marketing, a little bit in community. I'm working right now on Clash Nights casual meetups for players. My favorite card is the Log.
Classic. All right, well, let's dive right into this. We'll start with Tim and working on the Crown Championship. Can you tell us more about that?
It kind of goes back to even the early days before we released the game, testing it within the company. We did a lot of tournaments, and they were fun, playing in tournaments, watching them. So we've been thinking about how can we bring that experience to more players.
Right, I remember a year ago now, we had the first ever tournament.
The Helsinki tournament.
The Helsinki tournament. Which was fantastic to watch for those who were here. So now we're doing this on a much grander scale. Is that right?
Yeah, it's basically the biggest tournament you can do. How can we find, well, we're trying to find who's the best player in the world.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people want to figure that out as well. We want to know, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Like, how do people get into it? Like, what's the journey that people go through to get in this championship?
It's a full year program. We have 2 seasons, a spring season wrapping up soon, and we have a fall season starting in August. And the best players from each region in the world, we have 8 regions, will compete in December to find out who is the best.
So how do people enter this competition?
Yeah, so if you want to play, fall season's your next chance. Watch News Royale. Also check the website, crownchampionship.clashroyale.com for more information. Anyone can enter if you're 16 or older and level 8 or above and not a Supercell employee.
Oh, come on.
What? I thought Sip was going to win.
Yeah. And I heard there's a big prize pool, right?
Yeah, $1 million is up for grabs.
$1 million?
Whoa.
That's crazy. I think I might quit.
Just so you can enter.
Just so I can enter.
Okay, and then come back again.
Yeah, obviously.
Is that okay? Would that be allowed?
Is that in the rules?
No.
Man.
So Tim, I've heard that there might be plans to do something new, something interesting in the way that people can enter this competition.
We're trying to make this tournament as accessible as possible. We like the idea that pretty much anyone can enter. It's not about a few elite players or pro teams. It's for the everyday player. And we want to make it super easy. So we had over 1 million entries in the spring season, which is great.
Wow.
But it was really hard. People had to go to a website and sign up. It was a difficult process. So we're trying to find ways to make it super easy and get millions more entering.
Cool.
So watch for that.
That's exciting.
It'll be in News Royale and crownchampionship.clashroyale.com.
And some other secret method. Moha.
And then once you're in, if you're able to make it to the top, you'll be heading to our global finals in December against 15 other players. We'll have 2 players from 8 different regions in the world coming together in one big tournament.
Wow. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
So this sounds really cool. How do we check it out?
The finals for the spring season are coming up this weekend, July 1st and 2nd, North American and Latin American finals, and then next weekend, July 9th, European finals, right here on this YouTube channel. So subscribe now and check the link below for links to past tournaments. You'll see the best players in the world and really high-level gameplay.
Cool.
Best place to learn.
So, Tim, I think a lot of people ask, esports, mobile? What's going on there? Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, we like this idea of esports for everyone. Everyone's got a phone, pretty much. It's super accessible. It's not limited to PC gamers or hardcore gamers. Anyone can play.
It's not just the elite. I could be at home winning this tournament. It's crazy.
Not you, but...
Well, I mean
we talked about this.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot. Okay. So we talked about the world competition. Let's get a little more specific. Kim, can you tell us more about what you've been up to?
Yeah, so one of the things I think has been really cool watching the Crown Championship Tim was just talking about these past weeks. Bear in mind that this will air a few weeks after we've talked, but we just saw Surgical Goblin in a very crazy comeback beat Nem Sensei a few weeks back, and I'm like, my money is on these two guys to head to the top of the bracket at the finals in Europe.
Wow, so you already had these two stars emerging.
I mean, those are the guys I'm rooting for.
I see. Already favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, like, I've been following these guys for a while. You know, we saw Surgical Goblin first time in ESWC at Paris Games Week. That was already last year, and there's been more tournaments happening throughout the year. Another ESWC tournament that he ended up winning. So he came second in the first one. Then he won the second one against Nem Sensei. So it's the same two players that faced off in the Crown Championship.
Wow,
so of course,
cool.
like, that's a really cool story there.
Yeah, a
And
rivalry.
yeah,
has
exactly.
emerged.
Yeah, exactly. If they end up, you know, in the top 6 for Europe and they end up in the finals, who knows what will happen? But
So exciting.
yeah, I'm looking to see if they will end up in the finals. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Both players have already shown their worth, kind of, but I think it's important to point out, like, there are other competitions going on than our official competition, and like we're really happy with that. So in Europe, there's quite a lot of activity in France, especially, but also in Spain, Germany. So we are like looking forward to seeing what else is coming up, and we will have, like, by the time this airs, had Gamer G happening in Madrid. So who knows what the result will be from that.
Kim, what's your role in the third-party tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, we really like that these tournaments are going on in the first place. So we'd like to support them. We'd like to be in contact with the organizers. We'd like to go there and see what's going on. So if nothing else, then just to show good faith that Supercell is interested and inspired by some of these events. So yeah, sometimes we go there, chat with players, chat with organizers. Other times we just watch the streams remotely and see how it went. But of course, we're very excited about Clash Royale esports, so it doesn't matter if it's our official stuff or if it's somebody else doing it. It can be really fun to watch. So yeah, we really like that that's going on and that there has been these initiatives happening outside.
So, Kim, how do people find out about these tournaments going on?
Right now, there's no one place to find out about it. I feel like the best way to look at social media, to look at our social media channels, if you know that, you know, like ESWC, for instance, well, they have their social media channels. You can also follow, you know, high-level players. Maybe if you have a favorite player, then or local player, you can try to follow them on social media and see which events they go to. But yeah, if there are any broad events around Europe, we try to be present there. So coming up, we will have ESWC Summer in Bordeaux in France, and we're also going to have an event. There's also going to be an event in Malaga in late July. And who knows, maybe we'll also have a presence at Gamescom. That's something that we're working on at the moment. Gamescom's in Germany and is one of the biggest trade shows in the world.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's really enormous, so it'll be great to have a Clash Royale tournament there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And all of these are international events. They're not linked to, like, it's not, you don't have to be Spanish to go to and compete in the Spanish tournament. They're pretty international and also fly in some of these high-profile players from abroad. So we'll see some high-quality matches there, I'm sure.
Awesome.
And as always, check out the description for links to these events.
Can people just show up and play in these events, or do they have to qualify online or something?
Yeah, it's usually a bit of a mix. So whenever there's a booth, like there's a presence on the show floor, usually there are small tournaments going on, but they might not lead into the main tournament. So yeah, sometimes there are online qualifiers. So you want to keep an eye on this, several weeks in advance, ideally, and then you'll be able to qualify online. But some of these tournaments also do have this like last minute, on-site qualifier. So everyone's flocking together to get a spot in the finals.
Cool.
Kim, 2v2 tournaments, talk to me.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, actually. So, of course, with your guys' fantastic Japan video, you teased that 2v2 would come to friendlies, and automatically that opens the possibilities for competitive play, of course. I don't know if 2v2 is a good competitive format per se, but it's really a lot of fun, and I've already seen some of the competitive players like being really excited about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, who knows what will happen.
Sounds cool. Yeah, it's definitely something we should try out, right?
Yeah. Are there other tournaments going on besides these European ones?
Now you mentioned 2v2, but I think there are also some team formats out there. Like there are some online leagues, like Royal Premier League and CR Worlds that are like trying different things with online formats and with national, competition and stuff like that. And we're definitely checking that out as well. I think it's worth following and seeing what's going on in that scene. And some of this is also something that we're gathering inspiration from. So I think it's really great to see different formats being explored online. And we fully encourage people to continue doing that.
Yeah, there's a lot of regular tournaments hosted by Twitch streamers, by YouTubers. Koki Sports hosts a couple weekly tournaments. So if you look on social channels online, you can definitely find smaller online tournaments that you can compete in throughout the week.
So what's it like going to one of these events?
I think it's really fun to meet up with other Clash Royale players. That's something that we found out really early on, even before Clash Royale was released, was that it's much more fun to play with friends in real life. When you play online, the emotions really get out, and you tend to rage a little bit sometimes. When you play with people in person, it's a bit of a different environment. You can have fun with each other and throw emotes and stuff, and you can look at the other person and see that, okay, all right, they didn't really mean that, or they're having a good time as well. So I think there's something to be said about like social interaction around the game, and when you go to the events, you really feel that, and you get to hang out with like-minded people. So that aspect I really like a lot.
Yeah, I think the energy of these tournaments really gets you pumped to play the game, and seeing that everyone's having fun together, it's just a good time.
Yeah, and we also found that, like, if you talked about our Helsinki tournament earlier, which is the first kind of little esports tournament we had. And from that, there were groups forming, like local groups forming here in Finland.
That are still going today.
Yeah, they are. They have a huge Discord group. They meet up every once in a while. And, that's a very good example of how Clash Royale is better in person, and that they have formed a whole community around that.
And that's an experience we actually want to bring to a wider part of the Clash Royale audience.
That's right.
Is what I am working on now, Clash Nights.
Wow, so what's that? What's Clash Nights?
So Clash Nights is essentially our effort to enable players and to encourage players, in fact, to get together on their own and host their own small, casual, fun events where they can get together with other Clash Royale players, play a tournament, or just hang out, kind of do whatever they want, essentially. And this goes back to, I think, our very first experience within the company, everyone playing together. We had a company playable. We had a small tournament where the top 8 people from the company were going to play in front of everyone else, plugged into the big screen with everyone watching. And that was just really exciting, really fun. Everyone was just yelling and having a good time. Trainer Tim took the title, but that just, ever since, I think that...
It's Boris.
Boris won?
Yeah, Borlik.
Okay,
Trainer Boris.
He beat me in the semifinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Take that
I remember
all
it
back.
well.
Okay, so Boris won. It doesn't really matter, but it's not about winning. It's not about winning. It's about
trying your best.
It's about trying your best and having fun doing it
And winning.
and winning. Obviously, it's about winning. So basically, what we've been doing for the past couple months is in the Bay Area, we've been working with some local hosts, some local event venues, and we've been throwing some small events that have been hosted, by players. So not by Supercell, not by anyone paid by Supercell. They are hosted by actual Clash Royale players. You get together in a small cafe or a bar. You can choose from a bunch of different activities. We have a low tower health challenge. We have some Clash Royale trivia. And usually we conclude it with a tournament. These events have been anywhere from 6 people to 150. We've had about 10 of them, and it's just been a really good time.
Sounds awesome. Like what are your plans to expand on that?
Well, I think it can be really tough and really daunting for people who want to host. They have to find a place they can host. They have to get people to show up. These are all things we're basically just trying to help players figure out. So the next steps are really to take this wider, find places that we know players can just show up and host events, or can book time at different locations around the Bay Area and around the rest of the US. We're also going to be hosting slightly larger events, probably hosted by YouTubers you guys know and love, to kind of, turn people onto this idea that getting together and playing is really fun, and that you can host your own events, whether it's your clan, whether it's just for friends at school or at work or whatever. We really want people to know that, we're going to support them through that, and we're coming up with new and innovative ways to do that.
So these Clash Nights are already going on. Let's say I want to host one. What can I do?
If you want to host your own event, then I would suggest reaching out to us via email, clashnights@supercell.com. Right now, there's some events going on in Finland, and we're supporting some events in the Bay Area. We're hoping to kind of expand that as we grow. So if you are interested in hosting, no matter where you are in the world, just reach out, and we might not have a lot of help to give you, but we'll do what we can.
So how can I find these Clash nights?
So right now, the majority of them are taking place in San Francisco. We hope that there'll be more kind of areas and regions, at least in the US soon. What you can do right now is you can go to clashnights.com and you'll see a list of events taking place in and around San Francisco. We're really hoping to expand that to other areas soon. So again, if you're interested in hosting, please reach out. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, we will do what we can to support you and get those events up on our website.
We also have some listings on Facebook, right?
Yes, you can also check event listings on Facebook for events under the Clash Royale Facebook page.
So this is a question for all three of you. Where do you see esports with Clash Royale being a year from now?
More than anything, we want as many players as possible engaging with esports, competing and watching, especially competing. We want to make it super easy to get millions of people involved and millions more watching. That's my dream. How does Clash Royale become the biggest esports game in the world?
Fantastic.
I'd like to see us kind of being more present at even more events. So I think aside from our official events that we talked about, I think more and more of these major LAN parties and game events are going to have Clash Royale tournaments, and that makes me really excited.
I'd like to be working on something completely different at Supercell because Clash Nights will be so automated and smooth and easy to use and host events that there won't be any more work for me to do on it.
So you want to be replaced by a robot?
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
and then you can enter the Crown Championship.
Exactly. I can leave and finally win that $1 million prize pool.
It's been great sort of hearing your perspectives and your visions and your dream for the future with esports and with Clash Nights. They're both areas where just bringing people together and with this sort of joint passion and love for Clash Royale is just an amazing experience. And I'm super, super excited to sort of see this being taken further and taken global as well.
It's been great to be here to talk about it.
Thanks, Bangs. Thanks, Sip. We'll see you at
Thanks,
the
guys.
Crown Championships.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I've been Sip.
And I've been Bangs.
Kim.
Steve.
Tim.
Ooh.
And we'll see you at
Clash
Clash
Royale
Summer.
Championships.
Where?